Put an end to everything since the information that has surfaced from Blueface's tumultuous love triangle is more unsettling than anyone could have predicted. Online slurs, screenshots, and nasty battles between Chrisean Rock and Blueface's baby mama Jaidyn Alexis have been tearing each other apart for months. But it simply grew darker tonight. According to Chrisean, she is holding something that shouldn't be heard. Real covert recordings. Take a moment to process that. Not tweets, not recorded conversations, not rumors. Additionally, insiders claim that these recordings showed Jade and Alexis confessing to things that might blow everything up. We're discussing betrayals, covert transactions, and admissions that have the potential to destroy Blueface's already precarious empire. I'll give you the question now. Would you think it was a setup, or would you believe it if you heard Jaidyn's own voice reveal the truth? The fans aren't holding out. Since the end of Blueface's messy empire, they are already posting in droves. On social media, petty drama is no longer the only thing at stake. This is the precarious state of families, professions, and reputations. Additionally, if these recordings are indeed, it will destroy lives in addition to the internet. Don't blink then. There's no turning back after you hear what's on those records, so stay right here. Put an end to everything since the information that has surfaced from Blueface's tumultuous love triangle is more unsettling than anyone could have predicted. Online slurs, screenshots, and nasty battles between Chrisean Rock and Blueface's baby mama Jaidyn Alexis have been tearing each other apart for months, but it simply grew darker tonight. According to Chrisean, she is holding something that shouldn't be heard. Real covert recordings of conversations, not tweets or speculations. Additionally, insiders claim that Jaidyn is captured on these recordings. Alexis's admissions have the potential to blow everything up. We're discussing betrayals, covert transactions, and admissions that have the potential to destroy Blueface's already precarious empire. Here's the question now. Do you think it was a setup, or would you believe it if you heard Jaidyn's own voice reveal the truth? Social media is already ablaze with fans declaring that Blueface's chaotic reign is coming to an end. Petty drama is no longer the only thing at stake. It concerns careers, reputations, and struggling families. Furthermore, if these tapes are authentic, it will destroy lives in addition to the internet. Because there's something much more sad going on behind the yelling battles and the viral videos. A child in the midst of mayhem. A newborn stuck in the toxic battlefield of love, who never asked to be a part of this circus. And for that reason, this story is so tragic. Clout isn't the only factor. It has to do with lost innocence. Once amused by Blueface's outrageous behavior, fans are now shaken. They recall the public fights, the Instagram lives, and the scene where women fought in a single building as Blueface looked on as if it were reality TV. However, the joke is no longer humorous. A woman was silently crying behind those viral moments. Chrisean Rock was sobbing in the shadows as Blueface was grinning for the cameras. She was aware of the truth when fans believed it to be simply poisonous love, as the public ridiculed her. Suffering, she was being degraded, deceived, and left to suffer emotionally. Additionally, each time Alexis and Jade returned, Chrisean's heart broke a bit more each time. She shared something on social media to remind everyone of her role in Blueface's life. Now think about the evenings when the cameras weren't there. Because she wanted to, but because she had no other option, Chrisean was by herself with her phone, hitting record. According to insiders, those tapes contain private conversations, late-night whispers, and comments Jaidyn never imagined would be heard. And now, Chrisean is carrying those words around like a ticking time bomb. When she will use them is the question, not if she will. Already, social media is in a state of chaos. I knew Jaidyn was hiding something, an admirer wrote on Twitter. It's over if Sharon loses those tapes. This isn't a drama anymore, someone else wrote. This is an appeal for assistance. Meanwhile, recordings of Chrisean crying and whispering. Y'all don't even know half of it from her previous live feeds are making a comeback. Supporters now think she was always warning the globe. This is when the tragedy becomes more profound. Every scream and every argument has a child behind it who didn't choose any of this. Watching a baby cause mayhem to become the norm? Supporters are forget the clout they begged. Ignore Blueface. How about the children? What about the permanent scars they will bear? The most eerie aspect of it is that the innocents suffer while the adults seek attention. Blueface's empire, however, appears to be crumbling in slow motion. No more endorsements. The rap game is rapidly losing respect. He now has to deal with the fact that money cannot purchase dignity because his baby mama's voice could be made public. He has been calling both women in a panic, according to sources, in an attempt to calm the storm before it blows up. In actuality, though, he no longer has control. The lady who was constantly ridiculed on the internet and whom everyone dubbed "We now" holds all the power. With the cassettes in her hands, Chrisean Rock is fully aware of what will happen if she hits play. Imagine her listening to the recordings late at night while wearing headphones. Alexis and Jaidyn's words were like a stab to the chest. Each phrase serves as a reminder that she never really had the affection she battled for. They thought I was crazy, but now the world will know, she whispers as she pushes the record button on her own phone. Millions of followers experience the anguish and unadulterated agony of a lady who has been ripped apart by treachery, ridiculed for her hardships, and left to fend for herself in that very moment. This is no longer a tale of love. It's an impending catastrophe. A girlfriend against a baby mom, a mother against a mother, and a man too enamored with his reputation to recognize that he is going to lose everything. It won't just be a trend when those recordings are eventually made public and everyone realizes it's only a matter of time. Everything will be burned to the ground. Families will be broken, reputations will be ruined, and scars will remain that cannot be healed by an apology. Fans are unable to turn away because of this. Because this goes beyond just rumors. It's the slow-motion disintegration of life right in front of us. People no longer perceive controversy. They see a disaster. They witness heartache, treachery, and innocent people caught in the crossfire. Through the testimonies of the ladies who loved Blueface, they see the demise of his empire not at the hands of a rival rapper or a tribunal yelling for the truth to be heard by everyone. Thus, the world holds its breath and waits. Hit play. Will Chrisean, will Jaidyn's secret come to light? Or, before the truth is out, will this love triangle become even more sinister? There's no doubt about it. Nothing will ever be the same. When those tapes come to light, that is this story's terrible tragedy. The internet had changed by dawn. Everything in its path was drowned by the tremendous wave that had grown from murmurs. Chrisean Rock didn't pause for 30 seconds since the unimaginable had already occurred. She continued to spew clips, hour after hour, until the world could no longer contain her. Furthermore, the recordings weren't merely disorganized, they were disastrous. The voice of what fans thought were Jaidyn and Alexis confessing to schemes, plans, and betrayals was so icy that it was difficult for anyone to comprehend. One clip's background laughter added to the betrayal's sting. Moreover, these were not rumors. It was humiliation that would never be forgotten. Online responses ranged from shock to grief. Fans with teary eyes were recording themselves crying on TikTok. One tweet said, "After hearing this, I couldn't even sleep. For Chrisean, my chest aches." Blueface's empire didn't just fall apart. Another person wrote, "The women who loved him burnt it alive." It's the most eerie scene, however, it's when Chrisean Rock returned to the stage while clutching her infant and trembling as she muttered, "They called me crazy. You can now hear for yourself why they accused me of lying. I was broken by this." Millions of viewers felt as though they were trespassing on an unhealing wound and remained still, unable to turn away. Behind closed doors, Blueface spiraled. According to sources, according to friends, he was pacing and screaming in an attempt to halt the bleeding. However, nothing could be saved. His respect, his family, and his profession were all gone. Chaos now devastated the guy who had made his name on it. The tragic irony is that he wasn't killed by his enemies. The sounds belonged to the women who were closest to him. The nightmare was the worst for Jaidyn Alexis. Her name was popular everywhere she looked. She was unable to escape the millions of videos that were stitched together from clips of her purported admissions, spread like wildfire. Her once supporting fans have turned away. Their disbelief overshadowed their sympathy. Her reputation was destroyed in a single night. A baby's wail resounded in the midst of it all, serving as a reminder of what was really at risk. The weight of treachery and shattered promises crushed innocence. Online users ceased referring to it as drama. They began referring to it as tragedy. One post went viral, and it said it all. This has nothing to do with Blueface. Clout isn't the point here. This is about a child who will eventually hear these recordings as an adult. The true heartbreak is that Blueface's music streams began to decline toward the end of the week. Teasers are silently cut by brands. Its formerly devoted fan following flourished, putting half the blame on Jaidyn and half on him. However, everyone is in agreement on one point. There was no denying Chrisean's suffering. She wasn't insane, she was telling the truth. In the eyes of the world, she was bleeding. At last, the world was paying attention. It was more akin to a funeral than a scandal. A trust funeral. A loving funeral. An eulogy for the Empire Blueface. Believed he could create order out of chaos. Not fame was what remained. Power wasn't the issue. Ash was what it was. And one query stood out above the others as the internet combed through the debris. Was it worthwhile? Was the loss of 2 women, a child, and a permanent mark on one's history worth the drama, the celebrity, and the influence? So, if you were Chrisean, would you have hit play and revealed everything? Or would you have remained silent to protect the family? There are disagreements among fans. She saved herself, according to some. Some people think she ruined everyone. One thing is for sure, though. This is no longer merely rumors. Tragedy is playing out right in front of us. And after those tapes came to light, nothing was the same. The truth has now been revealed. Everything is out in the open, including the recordings, the treachery, and the pain. And the damage is done regardless of what anyone says. Here's the problem, though. This is not merely a celebrity story. This is a tale of devotion and trust, and how quickly a family can disintegrate when secrets and lies chip away at its foundation. What would you do if you were Chrisean Rock? That is the true question. Would you have kept quiet and endured the suffering in order to shield the man who had shattered you? Or would you have followed her lead exactly? Even if it means destroying everything, the press must document, reveal the lies, and let the public know the truth. Because millions of people are being torn apart at the moment. According to others, Chrisean is a courageous lady who at last mustered the courage to defend herself. Some think she went too far in revealing these. Not only did recordings bring down Blueface's empire, they also took the lives of innocent people. I cried listening. One fan wrote on Twitter, adding, "This doesn't sound like drama anymore. It seems as though a woman is battling for her life." "I'll never look at Blueface the same way again," said another. But what are your thoughts? Was this devastation or justice? This isn't only my experience to tell. So please share your ideas in the comments section right now. You have to answer it. And believe me, now more than ever, your voice counts. Don't just scroll away if you could hear the breaks in Jaidyn's voice, feel the sorrow in Chrisean tears, or see the terror in Blueface's demise. Similar to this video, spread the word about it. Additionally, as the next clip can be released at any moment, subscribe immediately. The internet won't simply Crash when it does, it won't get better. Heat. Heat.